Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Wednesday, February 15th, 2017. I'm Latricia Powell.
I'm Rebecca Hernandez, and today's show we get to the story of how a kinesiology department helped a paralyzed man walk again.
And a political murder investigation that has the whole world talking.
These stories plus more coming up on Texan TV.
Thanks to the Tarleton State University Laboratory for Wellness and Motor Behavior and kinesiology interns, Jeff Moore is able to walk again. After being paralyzed, Jeff visited intern Bailey Molden and others at the lab to receive care. Jeff is now able to walk, and he even participated in a 5K. Texan TV's Ariel Hall sat down with Jeff and Bailey for an in-studio to get the whole story. Let's take a look.
Basically, I had been having pain in my back from November of 2014, and it just kept getting worse. So in January, I had gone to the emergency room, and it took 6 trips to the emergency room before they finally figured out that it was an infection on my spine. And then I spent a week in the hospital when they did a biopsy, and during that time the infection pressed into my spinal cord. We didn't realize it. They sent me home, and next morning I couldn't stand or walk, or I had no control over everything that was below my waist. And went back into the hospital. They had to put me right into surgery, and they were able to clean out the infection, and they were hoping it would heal up. But the next morning, they had me do a CAT scan, and they realized there was too much damage, that they'd have to fuse my back and put in a couple of rods. And so I went back into surgery again. Both the surgeries were about 9 hours long. And then after that, it was in the ICU, and that's pretty much where I ended up at.
To see the full interview, you can visit the Texan News Service YouTube channel.
In local news, Dublin is celebrating its first district boys basketball championship since 2012 after winning at Coleman Tuesday, 69-65. Elton Gelbreth had perhaps the biggest sequence of the entire district season in 6-3A when he banned a shot to give Dublin a 1-point lead, then grabbed a defensive board that led to Ray Jace Jackson three-pointer to make 58-54 early in the fourth. The Lions opened state playoff action in a Region I-3A by-district matchup against Merkel at 7 p.m. next Tuesday at Eastland High School.
In Texas news, yesterday, the business MyFit Foods, based out of Texas, announced that it is closing all of its stores. The business offered no reasoning behind the closings, and employees were discontinued. No information about what they will do with these employees have been released. According to Austin Business Journal editor Greg Barr, they received financial backing from 2 California companies, but have faced increasing competition from Snap Kitchen. MyFit Foods have 50-plus locations in 5 states. Their goal was to achieve simple, healthy, and easily accessible packaged meals for everyone. And now for more national and international news from the Associated Press.
In national news, President Trump has signed a piece of legislation that will undo a rule that will require gas and oil companies to disclose payments to the U.S. or foreign governments for commercial development. This signing is part of Trump's promise to create and bring back jobs. We'll take a look at the Associated Press for more information.
We're bringing back jobs big league. We're bringing them back at the plant level. We're bringing them back at the mine level. The energy jobs are coming back, and it's you see what's going on with the stock market. They know that we know what we're doing, so it's going up at record clips. So I think what I'm going to do, if I might, can I ask you to say a few words?
My pleasure, Mr.
This
President.
is Bill Heisinger.
And so this is the first CRA that has been signed by the President, and very pleased to be the author of House Joint Resolution 41. Over 20 years, there's been 56,000 rules that have been put in place with very little legislative input or oversight, and it's time that changed, and I'm very thankful to the President the speaker, our chairman, Henserling, for being able to make this happen, and we think this is a good first step. So I'm very pleased. Thank you, Mr. President.
Good, let me have that, I'll sign it. We may have to give him the pen, I don't know. What do you think?
I got one. Someone's going to have to fight for me.
Vince has gotten too many, right? Congratulations, great job.
Thank you.
You've done a fantastic job. All right, a lot of people going back to work now. Yeah. A lot of people. Thank you, Mike. Great job. Mr. President. Good.
In international news, the assassination of North Korea leader Kim Jong-un's half-brother Kim Jong-nam rippled across Asia on Wednesday as Malaysian investigators scoured airport surveillance video for clues about the two female assailants. Rival South Korea offered up a single shaky motive: paranoia. Nam, who was 46, was targeted Monday in a shopping concourse at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, who spoke on condition of remaining anonymous due to the sensitive diplomacy of the case. He had not yet gone through security. Nam, who died on the way to the hospital, told medical workers before he died that he had been attacked with a chemical spray. For more of today's national and international news, we turn to the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. The White House says President Donald Trump knew weeks ago that former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn had misled Vice President Mike Pence. Administration officials say Trump was told about Flynn's conversations with a Russian ambassador 6 days after taking office. California water officials say the Oroville water level has dropped at least 15 feet. 200,000 people were told they could return home, but some are still staying in shelters. India's space agency says it set a new record, successfully launching 104 small satellites into orbit, all aboard one rocket. It says the satellites came from countries including the U.S., the Netherlands, Kazakhstan, the United Arab Emirates, and Israel. And at least half a dozen tornadoes have struck southwest of Houston, destroying or damaging some homes. More than 6 people were taken to hospitals. Matt Small, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
For today's sports report, we send it to Briar Gebhardt.
Thanks, Rebecca. On Friday, the women's tennis team will be taking on Central Oklahoma at 2:30, and at 6, softball team will play A&M Commerce. Then on Saturday at 1 and 3, the softball team will take on A&M Commerce again. In the world of professional sports, football may be over, but baseball is just beginning. Pitchers and catchers began reporting to spring training this past Sunday. Position players will begin showing up on the 16th. By the 20th, all teams' players will have reported in. Next month, the nation's eyes will be set on college basketball. Selection Sunday for March Madness is on March 12th. Games will begin on March 14th. Get your brackets out and get ready to take score. That's all for sports. I'm Briar Gebhardt. Anchors, back to you.
Thanks, Briar. Today's weather brought to you by the National Weather Service. It's sunny with slight winds. Today's high will only reach 59 degrees, however, so make sure you have a light jacket while you're out and about. And tonight, Stephenville will experience clear skies followed by patches of fog and a low of 35 degrees.
This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.
Watch us live on Channel 2.1 in the dorms at 12:30 on weekdays. And if you live off campus, tune in on Northland Cable Channel 9.
You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all your latest local, state, national, and international news.
Today's broadcast was produced by Ariel Steele, Marquise Daughtery, Sydney Burns, and Danny Hernandez. Have a wonderful day, Texans.